So yeah, really, really kind of fantastic. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It's lovely to be here. I feel like I've got a little bit, you're still warm, but I'm in like my summer kind of outfit.
I mean, I have my legs out today.
You do?
I do have my legs out today, but I have, I struggled to get dressed this morning actually because I was like, I don't know what to wear for this weather.
True.
It's weird. Yeah. It's very weird.
I know, it was still cold to be fair.
It is still chilly, but it's nice to have the sun out.
It is. Honestly,
Nice
I felt
to see the sun.
so cheerful this morning when I was just sort of seeing a bit of blue. So that is nice. I hope you've got that in wherever you are. Hopefully it's across the whole country because sometimes you can be sitting there and then just down the road even it can be raining.
It's raining, but no, hopefully it's some blue skies where you are
Exactly.
as well.
Now we have got 4 Hunkydory shows today, which is absolutely lovely. We have got some amazing brand new launches coming up. So what we are going to do is we're going to put the 1 o'clock as well as the 3 o'clock onto pre-order for you because we have got a brand new Perfect Versus foiled paper pad that we are about to launch now. But coming up in the 3 o'clock show, we've got the foiled edge card blanks, the new pastel colours, and it just feels very much like I want to merge them. So I think if we have them all available, then people can kind of shop ahead.
You will see a lot of the cards that have been made by the team use both of these items together because they are just essentials. They work so well together. They make crafting so much easier. So you will see that in a lot of the samples that have been made by the team.
Exciting, exciting, exciting. You're then back, of course, at 6, and I love these shows as well because that's where you're going to get to see all the essentials. You've got a really
so many Premier Craft tools coming that hour.
8 o'clock, you'll be back as well. We're having another look at the foiled edge card blanks and envelopes. Then at 2 o'clock, we have got brand new spellbinders. We've got the Just Sayin collection coming up, so we've got Dawn with us. We've got a lovely show there. 4 o'clock, I've not seen Meryl in ages, so that's going to be great as well. Parchcraft Australia UK, they're back with brand new templates. Back to the 5 o'clock with spellbinders, and then at 7 o'clock, we've got a brand new welcome to Sewing Online with fantastic storage as well. So a really, really lovely day all the way till 9. Now, very excited about this. This is completely exclusive to us here at Hobbymaker for the next couple of days as well, until obviously it comes to you guys at Hunkydory. We love the Perfect Versus.
Everyone loves the Perfect Versus. Yeah. They are so popular every single time we bring a new one.
Yeah.
I think they're just so essential. You know, the way that we've designed this pad is super, super versatile. So it's an A4 pad, but on each sheet you get 4 different sentiments. They're foiled in gold and in silver, and we're going to get multiples as well. So if you do want to do anything quite fancy with the way that you're using these, you absolutely can do. But they're great because we can cut them with our trimmer. We can use dies with them to do like fancy shapes. We can trim them into like little strips. So you've got gorgeous like strip sentiments that we absolutely love that style of as well. They're really, really handy, but also they're verses. So they can be used on the front or on the insides of your cards. They have a lot of sort of like longevity. You can use them for so many different occasions because there's always lovely themes in them. And because they're verses rather than sentiments, they give that extra special touch too.
100%. And I don't know about you, but I always struggle to find the right words. You know, like, what do I write? What do I say? With this, I'm like, I don't need to think about it because it's all done.
Your pad and you'll be able to sort of like find them in there.
Should we have a little flick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I want to.
48 sheets in here.
Okay.
So you're going to get a huge amount of designs. They include occasions like birthdays, thank you, good luck. We've got congratulations in there, get well soon. There's also sympathy elements in here as well. What I love about it is that we have such a vast amount of typography that's been used.
Exactly.
You've got some really like bold and classic sayings in here, but then you've also got some really nice like handwritten script designs as well.
And I think it's just as you sort of look at them, because obviously you've got the gold and you've got the silver as well. But like you said, they cover so many different things.
They do, don't they?
You know, you're not old, growing older, increasing in value. Here's to an oldie but a goodie.
I love that one.
Yeah.
As you celebrate your birthday, warmest wishes, go your way for all all that makes you happy on this very special day.
You see, that's one that
they're
can kind of
really
go to
cute.
every
They're quite
day.
poetic as well, aren't they, in the way that they're written.
But these as well, where you're really sort of getting that hope as
Yeah.
well. Life is all about good times and great adventures. The start of something new brings hope of something great. Anything is possible. And that one is lovely, isn't it? Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations.
It's really nice, isn't it? So not only have you got things you could be using for occasions, but also like non-occasions. Lots of affirmations in here just to brighten people's days.
Oh, look at that one. Twinkle,
I know.
twinkle, little star. What a precious little one you are.
So cute, isn't it?
So
I love that
nice.
one as well, sending a little homemade happiness your way. And I think the way that it's been like designed so it looks like cross stitch, it's really, really pretty.
Really, really clever. And I mean, to think 192 verses. So if you pop one of these into each of your cards, that is 192 cards, isn't it, right there? Which is just absolutely unbelievable to be able to get all of that. It is on your 140 GSM as well, so you've got that quality, of course, there, as well as the foiling.
It's on the same type of product that we use for all of our ink meat as well, so they don't have to stay white, which I think is really clever too. We can use our ink with these, we can use like alcohol markers if we want to as well, and actually colour the background of these designs. So you can bring them in so that they fit the theme or the occasion or the style of card that you're creating too.
Should we come over here and have a look at a few more samples as well? Because we have got some fabulous ones, obviously there where we were standing, but also these. This is one of Amy's. Always love Amy's, Amy's cards that she does. Look at that. I mean, that works perfectly with that growing old one that we said about.
They do, and this is from one of our most recent collections, actually. But you can just see how well it all works together. You've got some of our incredible essential selection papers in the background of these as well. Some duo design paper pads used within here. So you can get super, super creative. Use your banner punches, use your tag punches. This one's really nice because it actually has sort of like half of the sentiment up at the top of the card, and then a second half of the sentiment. So if you don't have the space for the whole verse, we can be really clever in, you know, cutting into these sections, making them into like separate paragraphs too.
It's nice to use like your nesting dies like this one as well, isn't it? Because suddenly that looks like it's a completely different sentiment
Your
to what
nesting
we've
dies
seen.
can really transform the look of these and also bring them into more of a theme that works with the collection. Like this one, it would be in that sort of like almost cloud design. Looks really, really nicely with obviously the rainbow and the image that's been used here.
Lovely fancy one that we can see.
This is really, really cool. So this was made by Dawn on our design team. And again, another way of showcasing how these work by actually snipping into each individual strip and using them separately across the card. There's just so much versatility within these pads. It's such a simple concept. But as you can see with all the designs that we've already shown you, there's so many different sort of designs and themes and collections you can be creating.
And that's lovely where they've chose this one on the front. So there's lots of love tucked inside this little card. Have a wonderful day. You then open it up and it looks just finished off perfectly, matched as well. As you celebrate your birthday, warmest wishes go your way for all that makes you happy on this special day. So it's just perfect to use on the outer, on the inner. Like you said, snip them because that was half of the one that we saw on that first card, of course, that we saw just there. And then there's the second half that has just been placed at the bottom as well as the stopper. So it's absolutely fabulous.
And you can use them with like everything, not just for like papercraft products, but they work with like your dies. They're going to work with die cut pads. They're going to work with stamps, embossing folders,
nice one, like little labels, top of boxes,
everything you possibly have in your craft selection. Even if you do mixed media, they would look really lovely on pages as well. You could do like little torn edge elements on them with tags as well as beautiful sort of like messages with presents. They are just so versatile. And like you say, so many is included in this pad.
And across so many different kind of occasions, different people. I think that's what's brilliant because you could bring something out like this and you could think, right, I'll just do birthdays. And that would be nice, but it would limit you. Whereas to have your birthdays, to have your celebrations there, you know, to have those jokey ones, to have those uplifting sentiments, those ones for your friends as well as your partner, it's absolutely exquisite because you're just going to flick through this and know the exact verse that you want.
Exactly. And I love the fact that you get it in gold and silver because as we know, gold and silver foiling is going to work with most foiling, even if we've got coloured foiling like we have coming up on the show later on as well. Every single image in here is going to work really, really nicely with those. And they're just so nice. The typography matches the Sayin. You know, you can use half of it if you wanted to, or just sort of like trim away some of the Sayin. You don't have to use it all if you don't want to. But they are really, really lovely, and so many different occasions.
May a
as well.
rainbow follow you in a sky that's always blue. I'm like, that is just
it's
gorgeous.
really, really uplifting.
Just think the way that the words are found and that they're crafted as well. It's just exquisite, you know. Just a little note to say how much I love you. I mean, that's all you need to say.
All you need to say, yeah, just thinking about you.
Yeah.
And I think if you're someone that makes to sell as well, these are really good ways of offering that personalised touch on cards, because you could sell a card to someone that doesn't have an insert in or doesn't have a verse, and you could ask them to flick through your perfect verses. This is volume 3 now. We've got lots of other different pads that we've done. They could choose their own sentiment in their choice of foiling, and you can add that in for them, and maybe an extra cost, but it just adds that extra special. That's something different about you on your stall, that you're offering that for.
You know your person, you know who you're making this for, so that is why it's such a good opportunity. Now, we have, as we say, the full exclusivity. We have a good stock allowance. Of course, we do. It's brand new, but lots and lots and lots of you already coming through for this. Loads of you with it in your baskets as well, so make sure you're checking that out. Now, we are going to do a demo in a second with it, but just before that, we just want to introduce our Essential Selection rainbow pads that we've got here, different essential pads that we've got as well. Now, there's a couple of different ways to buy these. Should we start with a full multi-buy first so we can actually look through them all? Because these are the 4 new pads, aren't they? The 4
so
first
we
pads
launched these in January. And they're a different style of pad, because we've never done an A5 size pad before, and we've never done pads that are completely matte-tastic either.
No, exactly.
So these are matte, so you're going to be able to ink onto them if you want to, or stamp onto them. They're great for doing things with your embossing folders, because we can also sort of like sand back the colourways to reveal lots of different designs. But there's 4 different collections within here, and they were so popular when we launched them as well.
They were, I remember it. £7.99 each, that is the price point that we are meant to be at. Do you want Nat to quickly change her mic while we're flicking through these?
Should we switch it over?
Yeah, we'll just quickly swap that over. So £7.99 each usually, okay? We are going to get these down, so this is the way to get both of these, but because they were so popular on launch, I will let you know that we are approaching the final few chances on this price, which is the best way to get it in terms of the deal. I think we've only got around 20 chances now left, because loads of you have already come in and bought these today, so well done. So this is your check that you can see. It takes them down to £18 to be able to get these. That now makes them £4.50 each instead of £7.99. So you'd usually only be able to get 2 and a bit of these books, wouldn't you? Just a couple of them and a little part of the other for the price on your screen. Instead, you're getting all 4 of the brand new books. This is one of my favourites as well, the craft, because just the dimension that they sort of have managed to achieve in this. You know, so many of these sheets do not look like they're actually flat on the paper, and yet it is. And then the final one is your watercolour, which again, absolutely lovely. The amount of time that people obviously spend creating backgrounds like this, now you don't need to. You don't need to get messy. You've got it there. Plus, they actually match, because you never manage to create a background that's the same even when you try.
Absolutely not, no. And I think this one's really nice because we have that exact same texture, but across so many different gorgeous pastel shades. And it really is something that comes in so handy when you're making really nice, clean, simple cards that you will be doing with these perfect verses.
So if you want all 4 of them, taking them down to £4.50 each,
Such a
then
good price,
we have
isn't
this.
it?
The only upsetting thing is I think we're approaching single figures on this
no.
deal. So we are limited for this deal for you to be able to get it. So do be quick. That's 192 sheets. Don't worry though, because there's another way to get them.
There is another way,
So we do also have a pick and mix on these, which is where you can have any 2 and still get a discount. So we should be looking at almost £16 for 2 of them. Instead, we're taking them down to £9.90 for 2. So you're looking at £4.
£4.90-ish, just under £4.80
I think it is about that, isn't it? Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
£4.90.
Well done, your first one was right. So still a really, really good price. But also what that does mean is that if you wanted 2 of the rainbow, you could do 2 of the rainbow, 2 of the watercolour, or it could be craft and check, whatever it may be. But
it's just a nice way to be able to choose your favourites, isn't it? And be able to pick the ones you'll use the most.
Yeah, and at £7.99, I mean, I think that is an absolutely brilliant price to be getting
so
48 sheets, 12 different designs in them, but you'd rather it with a discount as well.
Definitely, always.
Yeah, so a super opportunity there as well. Did you want to get ready to set up for
shall
a
we
demo?
do one? one.
Yeah, lovely. So don't forget, of course, that brand new Perfect Verses pad is out for you to be able to get this today, which is absolutely brilliant. We've got it here, £9.99. Already been very popular. It's in your gold, it's in your silver. You have got 24 different verses, 4 each in your gold and your silvers with that, which is 192 verses altogether at £9.99. Right.
So we're going to use our dies first of all to be able to like cut into these,
Good idea.
create different shapes with your Perfect Verses. So I've got my elongated hexagons. This one's Moonstone 921, and this is a really nice shape. So I'm actually going to make a shape card with this as well as sort of cutting it from my verse. So I'm going to take a 5x7, and I'm just going to overlay this ever so slightly onto my card blank, and I'm going to stick that down to make sure it doesn't move. And then I'm going for thank you for the gift, the thought, and most of all the happiness it brought, because I thought it was such a lovely saying, and it's always the thing I think of when I'm making homemade cards as well, is kind of like how the person's going to feel opening that. So we're going to trim these down with our die cutting machine. So I've got that one there. We'll put this one on here, and then I will die cut from my Essential Craft pad next as well. So let's just run these through, and they're going to cut really nicely with your dies as well with the weight of that paper, but it's just going to give you a really nice different finish to your cards as well. So let's just trim that out, make sure that that has cut through. I'm just going to run that through one more time.
Okay.
Because we are going through the card blank, and then I've just folded over my A5 sheet of that craft card so I can cut through it twice.
Okay,
and it's just going to save that little bit of time doing it.
Yeah.
So I'll just pass through that straight away. And now I'll have all of my sort of panels ready to go. I've also die cut some mirri as well to just do some mats and layers on here, but we'll come to that in a moment. So let me just pop this out of here, and then I can just remove that from this section as well. And then I'm going to bring in my die cut piece. So again, being really careful when popping this out from your design. What you want to do is try and aim to have your low tack tape less on the side that cuts out, especially with paper like this, because it is like an insert weight, so it's got that kind of like fluffy feel to it. And then we are going to build our card. So we're going to make a shape card with this one. So I'm going to start off by folding this in half. Kat, could you pass me the scoreboard that's near your head?
Is that yes, I can. If I can reach it. Can you get it? Yeah.
There we go.
That's always quite handy, isn't it, in this studio?
There's always a scoreboard somewhere. So I'm going to take this on my scoreboard, and we're just going to take this sort of like halfway down. It doesn't matter if it's sort of perfect on there, but that is going to create us a gorgeous like shaped easel card. Yeah. So I've then got some gold mirri for these bases, and I'm going to layer onto those with my craft card. So I've just gone up one layer to be able to do those, and I think the layer of the gold mirri is also the largest layer, or it might be the second one actually, because I think I wanted to add a little white edge just to match this up. So have I done this right, or have I done this wrong? I may have used the wrong, I think I've used the wrong size. I know what we'll do. We'll redo that one again. So I needed to go down a size.
Well, luckily there's a lot of the same sheets.
You've got a lot of sheets, and all we need to do is just remake this again. So let's double check that one. You can check. So it's that one that we need to use. We'll just run that through again, because it won't take more than a minute. So just folding that over, placing that on, and then we're just going to die cut through those two panels as well. So I can just make sure that that's on there properly, and then we can run that through. But I think it gives you so much like more versatility when you can think of all the die shapes that you've got that you can trim out these pads with. It makes them more than just like insert like verses then, because 100%. They can go on the front of your cards as well, or be like the main focus of your cards, which I think is really lovely. So we'll try this one again. This one should fit this time. So we're just going to use our tape runner to stick those on. And there we go. You've got that nice sort of equal edge there. I do love this shape as well. I think it's very, very fancy with the designs you've got. And then I'm going to use another sheet which I've cut out, and that is going to fit my sentiment on there. So I can now take my tape runner and I'm going to go in on the base of my card and just line this up on here. And because we've used the smallest one, that will sit really nicely on the edge there. Yep. And then I'm going to go on the sort of bottom half of my hexagon, just add the tape onto there, and then that will sit again onto here like so. We can then add our perfect verse straight on the top there. And then I'm going to decorate this with some of our fantastic die cut pads. We're going in with the floral arrangements.
Okay, lovely.
And we're just going to pick out a selection of different ones to dress up this very simple looking card at the moment. So I'm going to go in with these sort of like bouquets, and I think what I'm going to do is kind of like snip it in half and tuck it around those edges. So you do in these get 4 of each. So if you want to do some decoupage or some layering of other elements, you absolutely can do with this one. And there's lots of different styles of flowers that you will see throughout this pad as well. That it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to put that around the outside. So let's just trim into this in sort of like in half. And I think if I go, I might do 2 of the same one. So let's take another one of that design. And again, I'll just trim into that. I'm going to go a different direction this time though. Okay. And then we can sort of like mix the 2 sides together so they're going to fit a bit nicer. I'm going to take this gorgeous bow as well because I do love that. And then I need like a stopper to sit underneath down the base here. I'm going to take this single rose. I'm going to take a few of those ones. And then I did notice that on the other pages, we've got some of these really nice stems. So I might make it look like a little bit of a wreath on our design. So
and to a great price at $9.99 again.
It's really good, isn't it? We can just pop these in now. So if I take these, pop them in with some foam pads, and then I can just tuck them down. And it doesn't matter if they sort of like overhang, because again, we do have that other one that we can just sort of like bring in here. And if you've got any sort of like edges that you don't want, the best advice is to just cut around some of those flowers, make it look a bit more free flowing. Yeah. And then we can just add these into place as well. So I'm going to tuck that one around there and mimic the same thing on this bottom side. So we can just add that onto here as well. So just with our little small square foam pads, they're going to fit perfectly in there. And then I'm going to do this one on this bottom section here. And then this one can just go up that side edge. So we can just tuck that in again. I might add another foam pad to this section here where that fold is. And then we can just tuck that in there as well. So you've got that gorgeous sort of like detail on both sides. My bow, I'm going to stick to the very top of my design. So let's just stick that on there. So that adds a little touch of detail. And then of course my stopper, we're going to use some of our thinner strips.
Very nice.
And I'm just going to place these sort of like together. Yeah. Just across here. So I'll just place that underneath here like so. We can kind of give it that nice sort of stretch around here as well if you want to. And then we can add our gorgeous little roses on top. So again, I'm just going to go straight over the top of that spacing with my foam pads. Because I know that it fits, it's going to hide it really well. And then that will just sit.
I think this is always like the perfect example of you don't need a massive card to
make
an impact.
Absolutely not. And you can add sort of like more or less to this. You can add, you could have used some of the same florals on this back piece and sort of created like a background from them. But it's just really sweet. It's really simple. It doesn't use a lot of those die cuts either because we've actually cut into them to make more out of it. Yeah. But it's just a really simple way of creating such a nice little card to go with maybe a present or a gift. And
Yeah,
with the wording that you've got on there, people are going to love that as well.
Without a doubt. So don't forget that that has been made up, of course, of your perfect verses, brand new today. But when you think you've got 192 verses in this, both in your silver and your gold, and that's made up of 24 completely different verses, things that you would want to maybe say thank you or birthday, good luck, congratulations, get well soon. It could be your friends, your family members, younger people, older people. You know, there really is something for everybody. Gorgeous fonts and gorgeous words as well. Now, we've got a massive stock of this, and already over 20% of that stock has been allocated, so do come in whilst you can. I want to then give you a flick through of what we just saw, these delightful die cuts. So this is the floral arrangements that Nat just used. It is an absolutely beautiful one. Now you can see on the back all of those different sort of bits that we actually get with this, which is fabulous. And you are looking at getting the most amazing inspiration from this, because as you come through it, as Nat was just showing you there, everything is already die cut. So you've got 4 different page layouts, you've got 5 of each of them as well. You've got that gorgeous foiling that we get to see, and all those elements just pop out to build the cards.
It's crazy. There's 180 die cut elements in that pad alone. So think about like the way that we use them, the amount of cards you're going to be able to make and decorate with this, or you know, they're little elements that are perfect size for like hiding those little mistakes.
Definitely.
Or if you've not cut your cardstock long enough or bits and pieces like that, they work really nicely, especially this one, because you get like the frames and you get the outside elements, and then you can sort of like build them all together to create like arrangements.
And
so
it's when
it
you
is
see different
beautiful.
samples like this, you kind of go, gosh, there's so much I can do with this.
Yeah.
There is another one that I might come to next, if you don't mind, the World of Roses, because I feel like it would work really well in conjunction with this as well. So it's the exact same format, but obviously it's different in terms of your flowers that you've got here. So this is your World of Roses. 120 individual elements in this one. So again, loads, foiled, die cut, as you can see. And I love that it actually gives you the sort of names of the different roses.
They're all sort of laid out for you, so you know exactly what style of rose that you can use with this. I think this one's probably going to be the most limited as well in our collection of die cut pads now.
We don't have many of these left at all. People had already looked ahead, of course, on the website, and we're checking out. And let me just show you some of the samples that we've got with this as well, of what you might like to do with it, because you might want to do something like that, which is absolutely beautiful. Or how about something as simple as that, just popping some of those gorgeous roses actually into these bits. Now already we're approaching a quarter of the stock having been allocated on this one as well. So we are there, of course, at £9.99. So you've got that one there as well, which is a brilliant one. Festive foliage, we've got that one. We haven't got any samples from this one, but I can give you a flick through the book. Oh, we've got 5 left. Oh, that's going to go any second then, isn't it?
Very close. And this is beautiful, not just for like Christmas cards, but also for like winter birthdays. There's some lovely like poinsettia arrangements and little wreaths and things like that.
Yeah, any time of the year.
It's really pretty. There's such a nice array of different sort of like almost the same thing, because a lot of them are poinsettias, but just in lots of different layouts. You've got it in sort of like with a candle on a cake, with crackers. So honestly, perfect for loads of different occasions.
Very over allocated on that one. 225 individual elements that we've got on that one. I have one other Christmas one, which is your vintage Christmas tags. We've got this one here.
I love this. If you use these on presents, you would have so many individual tags. So they're all single tags. They've all got little die cut elements for your ribbon on as well, but they're so cute. The style of them is amazing. If you do like junk journaling or that type of Christmas crafting, they are awesome. They also work really good as backgrounds on your cards as well, like laying them all out and then putting them down.
Definitely. 30% of this one has gone as well, so well done to you. You can see you've got the likes of your animals, your candles, your gingerbread, your scenes, your lovely trains that we can see as well. So that one is there for you. We've got World of Wildlife, which I love this one.
And I think if you got hold of your wildlife embossing folders that we had on a couple of weeks ago, they would work really nicely together with these. So there's such an array of different types. It's literally like you've gone to the zoo.
It is.
And I mean, you could take this to the zoo with your kids, and they could like sort of like use it to create a book on all the different animals that they've seen. There's so many different variations.
You've got like the babies as well, because you know if you wanted to do like a Mother's Day card coming up or a Father's Day card, you could put
or a
them
new
together.
baby card.
Of course you could.
You can use them all together. It's really, really nice. You've got the elephants as well with the rhinos and the hippopotamuses.
And it'd be lovely to make sort of door signs, I was thinking as well.
Oh, yeah,
like names, put them next to them or anything like that.
Or it might be like, you know, when at school you've got like different, each table's got like a different name.
Very true.
You could do that like safari themed and use all of these on there as well.
Last year when Bo was at school, right, they have reading groups, and last year they tried to be really sort of savvy by not letting them know that they're 1 to 6. So they were called, you know, snails or pets or different names of books, and it was all fine. And then this year they've just gone, you're group 1, you're top, you're group 2. And I'm like, go back to this. They don't need to know at 5 years old. Get the animals out and give them an animal table.
Give them an animal table, that's what they need.
Yeah.
But they are, I think the best thing about these die cut pads is how versatile they are with everything that you'll have in your stash. You know, they work so well with your perfect verses, but also all of your duo design paper pads, those essential papers that we've got on the show today as well, especially with that watercolour and those checks with like the browns, they're going to work really nicely with this.
And how that's built up there with all of the animals.
It's so clever,
so
isn't
real,
it?
don't they? They're fabulous. So that one is your World Over Wildlife that we've got there. Let me have a look if I can find that one. They're all sort of in different boxes, so...
I think that one is in that box.
Pardon?
I think the one that, maybe it's not.
I'm not sure where that one is. Beautiful Birds is sold out already, hasn't it? So that one has already gone. We've got all sorts of sports. We've got that one that we've got just here. So let's come across to this one. So this one has got 360 elements in. So again, a huge amount. And we always talk about how much people love sports, great for kind of teenage cards, male cards,
and what we wanted to do with this as well was really incorporate all the different types of sports. There's so many people that always ask us for loads of different water sports themes and different styles of sort of sports, because everyone is into all different types of like either hiking or it could be like mountain climbing. What we've done is we've created a great selection of different themes here that can be used for different types of occasions as well. We've obviously got the yoga mat, but that could be for like dancing if you used it with like the ballet shoes. There's loads of different ones, and then obviously all the racket sports are in there too. We've jam-packed this one with so many like varieties.
It's so good, isn't it? It really is absolutely amazing. So so much that of course you have got in that one as well, which is absolutely brilliant. Now let's come across next to your birthday celebration, shall we?
I love
this
one. We're going to use this next.
Completely sold out. You're going to demo this one next, are you? Okay, so this one completely sold out last time.
This is like an essential. You are covered for every occasion, for every age, for every gender. It doesn't even have to be birthdays. It can just be like a celebration. Maybe it's an anniversary, or like you say, like a gender reveal with the pink and blue cakes that you've got up at the top there. You've got the candles, so you've got all of those that you can sort of like layer across the bottom of a card. And then you've got this page here, which has got all the different types of alcohols on there. So again, anniversaries you're covered for, wedding days you're covered for, with the champagne glasses as well. It's a great die cut pad, and one I actually use a lot of the time for the different elements that we've got included. And the ones on this page with the different coloured balloons and the bunting, they work really nicely, but also with stamps too. You can bring in your stamps with those. You can bring in your acetate elements as well, like your acetate sentiments. They're going to work really nicely with all of these embellishments too. There is so much you can do with this one.
Yeah, it really is. It's absolutely beautiful in terms of what you can see there. I mean, we've got a lovely one there that I can just show you as well. I mean, look at that, where you've kind of took quite a few of the elements from this and put them onto the card. But because you are getting 180 die-cut elements,
180 die-cut
suddenly
elements.
you look at that and you think, well, that's nothing. It
isn't, is it? You can have so much on there, or you could just use 1 or 2 elements on your cards. And you do get 5 of every design as well, which is really cool, because if you did want to create a background with, say, the cakes like this one has been used, or if you wanted to use all of sort of like the champagne bottles for a background, you can do that with these pads.
Yeah, without a doubt, and that is what is so fantastic about them. Let me just get you one more sample as well to be able to see this, because have a look at that one.
This one's very cute, isn't
there
it?
As well. Cheers to 60 years using that, and then there's that champagne that you've got just there as well. So this is very, very popular, as we would expect. We are going to see this used in a demo in a moment as well, after we've just run through the other die-cut pads. So already 20% of that one has gone. It's been restocked because it had completely sold out. Now, we also have the vintage stamps. This was one
I love this one. It's really, really nice.
Just so different, and I just love the different sizes.
Oh my!
sounds,
And
the
my
different
favourite
images.
thing is the accent foiling. So as you would see, like stamps are on your stamps, on your letters, where they're stamped from like different destinations, and that sort of goes over it. We've mimicked that with foiling, and it's really, really clever. It gives you that extra special sort of like element in there.
Yeah.
But you've got all sorts in here, lots of different themes, whether it's sort of like traveling the world, or you've got the gorgeous animals and the butterflies and the birds in there as well. But we've also got like travel in there. We've got steam trains. You've got loads of different embellishments that you can use with this one. So whether you're sort of doing quite feminine style cards or other different elements, there's loads you can do with
And it's great there. I mean, they've used lots to kind of create the whole card. Or you can do something like that and just use a few kind of going across.
Just use a few of them. Again, bringing in your inks to create that gorgeous sort of this is really
Magic,
cool. The backgrounds with this one are really good.
Really, really lovely, isn't it, what you're seeing there? So £9.99 for you to be able to jump in and get that. We've got weights on this. Do look in the website, because we've got all of the die-cut pads that we have available here today. And I can see that lots of you are kind of multi-buying across on ones as well, because it is that one-off postage and packaging fee between midnight and midnight as well. Now, the next one I'll bring to you is making music.
This one's good. This one's very cool. And again, loads of different people you'd be able to make this one for. You'd be able to make cards for like Bowie with this one, but then you'd also be able to make cards for like your dad with some of the elements that you've got in here. You know, you've got a really nice mix of all the different sort of like musical elements. You've also then got some notes in here that you could use for backgrounds or added extras on your cards. It's really, really fun. But there is so much included in this one. Again, we've literally thrown all the different sort of like variations that you could possibly think of on here.
Adam's laughing in my ear, because obviously you said this would be great for Bowie. Bowie plays trombone, and he's obviously only 5, so the trombone is taller than him.
Is it?
There it is, yeah.
But it's in there.
It's bigger than him, and he said to his teacher.
How does he hold it? Does it have a stand?
They're called pea bones for children, so they're made out of plastic, so they're lighter, because obviously you wouldn't be able to actually hold a breath.
I was thinking that.
It'd probably be heavier than him as well. But he said to his teacher the other day, he's been taught all these things, and he said, why haven't you taught me A yet? Like, because he knows that he's got B and C and D. And he was like, you're not tall enough. He can't reach the whole extension of the actual thing. So to move the slide, he's like, you can't do A. So I'm having to teach you around A.
Oh, that's really cute.
Which is, so it's just, when you get a bit older, he was like, when I'm 6, I was like, you never know. When you're 6, you might be able to do A.
Just need that growth spurt. You'll be absolutely fine.
Exactly.
This one's really fun as well.
These are great, aren't they? I mean, these samples, that is just fabulous with all of those kind of popped together. As well, so lovely opportunities to be able to get these as well at £9.99. So that's another one that we've got. Classic cards. This is
really cool as well. And there's an image in there's a verse, in our brand new pad that says something about not getting old or being a classic or something like that.
Yes, it does.
So this is a perfect pad for that.
Definitely.
You've got a real nice variety of classic cards as well. You've got sort of like those very, very vintage cars that we sort of like know and love from like that Great Gatsby era. And then you've got all of your like muscle cars in there as well. So all of your American style cars are in there too. And then you've got some sort of like more English sort of like racer versions as well. And all of your sort of like nice, expensive, luxurious cards.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, it's just brilliant. Really, really good size, I think, on these cards as well. And again, there's some gorgeous samples.
There's some really nice examples of these.
Yeah, look at that there. So you can see how they've kind of used those 3 to kind of go across that. Or you could do something like this if you wanted to. That's fabulous, where you've used your sort of star dies behind them.
Yeah, it's so nice, isn't it? Like popping them out of those embellishments, making them look really fantastic. This is super clever.
Be a great one as well, you know, if you were buying a present like a racing day or something like that. To sort of use
absolutely. Or tickets to sort of like Silverstone and things like that.
Yes,
it would be very, very cool, wouldn't it?
I'd love to go to like a race day, you know, something like that. And that'd be great.
I feel like it would hurt my ears.
Maybe put the headphones on.
Maybe.
Yeah, play yourself some music. Like you've got like pop
Oh yeah,
on,
so you
and
can
then
actually hear it.
yeah, and you've
While
got
the
that
cars
there.
are just speeding past.
Yeah, so that one is that one that we've got just there for you as well. So lots of different opportunities for you to be able to jump in and get these ones. We don't have garden visitors.
I think I've got mine.
Have
You
you
can
got
borrow
yours?
it. I
Oh,
don't
lovely.
know what's in there and what's not in there, but this one's huge
Yeah.
because
Oh,
there's
lovely.
275 elements in that one.
Wow, okay.
It's massive.
Gosh.
But there's a huge amount of sort of like variety of like insects almost. You've got butterflies, dragonflies, ladybirds, lots of different sizes as well of the different sort of elements that we've got in here. But they all work together really nicely as well.
It's really cool.
It's super, super cool.
I love how bright they are as well. And then with that
Yes.
foiling, it sort of brings them
It
apart
just
even
makes
more.
it pop, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's so nice.
And I just love that these are the sort of things you wouldn't be able to fussy cut either. So the fact that you can just pop
No,
them out, you know,
no,
already
just
done
pop them
it and
out,
they're
put
there.
them together.
Yeah, ready.
You
for
could do like little kaleidoscopes of like of butterflies sort of like running up your cards as well.
That's a
You could
nice
use them in
idea.
home decor projects as well with this
Of
one.
course you could. A couple of them have now sold out. A few of them are very, very limited as well. So do make sure if you want to confirm on any of them that you are. Remember that, of course, the Perfect Verses is brand new today. It will work so, so well with those. That's the brilliant thing. And that's why, obviously, you are using them alongside it as well, because you find the verse and it matches the image,
Yeah.
which is just brilliant. Should we
It's
come
so
to your
nice.
using birthday
Yeah,
celebrations?
so we're going to use the birthday celebrations, and I kind of like put these together because of this one here. It says, just a little note to say how much I love you. So we're going to use this verse up here, and we're also going to take some of these fantastic little envelopes. So I'm going to pop out all of them from sort of like one sheet, and we might come back for some more, but we're going to leave those together for now. And then I'm going to use my element up here. So I'm just going to take my trimmer and cut this one out to make a tiny little sort of like almost like a letter that you would find inside an envelope.
Okay,
so
yep.
you can just easily trim these out, and the closer you get to sort of like the work, you're going to be able to still use the other designs on the other side as well. So be really sort of clever in the way that you cut that out. And then that one is just under the 2 by, I'm going to go for sort of like 1 1/4. So I'm going to take some of this gorgeous purple mirror as well.
Okay.
And we're just going to mat and layer this
Lovely.
onto here, because I am going to give you a sneak peek of one of our brand new pads that are coming up. Foiled edge card blanks, sorry, that are coming up later.
There's
So-
already a lot of people coming through for them. Obviously, they're coming in on our 3 o'clock hour,
Yes.
but you can already pre-order them. They're there on the web. If you don't know what pre-order means, just go to the website, okay? I can show you actually just here if you'd like. You just press on Watch Live. It will come to everything that we've got on the show. Then you can see, as you scroll down, you've got these 2 different tabs. So you've got what we've already played today. Press on Coming Up on Today's Show, and you can see right at the top, just here, that we have got what is coming up, and there it is. The chance to be able to get your new foiled cards. The new ones are the pastel ones. So
They
you've got
are.
all different options that you can see there as well, that of course you're able to take advantage of. So just add it into your basket, and it does mean you'll get it. And when it comes down to the lowest price, you'll still pay it anyway. So it doesn't matter at what point.
So let's build up our card. So I've got a matching purple foiled edge card
Amazing.
blank.
Yeah.
I've got some of our checked pattern from our essential papers, and then I've also got one of our really nice frame dies. So this one is our lovely lace nesting die, and that is Moonstone 723 if you want to try find it, Ellie. So I'm going to place this on with some foam pads first of all.
Yeah.
So let's just add that straight onto our background. And then we are going to place that onto our card blank. So we'll just leave that to one side. We'll stick this down flat first. And then I'm going to just open this out, lay this on. Now I've cut this to be just under, that 1/2 inch shorter, which means that now I've got a perfectly sort of like mirrored edge. It's a really cool concept. It was our Incredible Cat's idea to do these card blanks, because she said it just like saves people so much time and money, because we're not having to find sort of embellishments. So we've got your lovely lace nesting die on there. I've got my element ready to go, and I've got some other smaller envelopes as well. Now I want to make it so I've got like an envelope that this is coming out of.
Okay, yep.
So I've got some of the watercolour cardstock, watercolour paper from our pad, and I'm going to use my envelope making book. So I've got
you said about this earlier,
with
didn't
me,
you?
and this is so easy to follow. So you need a scoreboard, you need your book, and you need your corner punch to be able to do this.
Okay.
So we're going to do a standard envelope. So that's your square. These are your rectangles, and we're just going to make this one here, which is 3 by 1.5. So it says your starting paper needs to be 4 inches, which I've already cut down. And then it says that you need to mark this at the top and at the bottom. So I like to get my scoreboard to be able to do this.
Just so people know, we did add that die you used in as well, and it is at a half price deal today. So
Ooh,
they can actually get it for £9.99.
that's really good.
Isn't it?
That
Yeah.
is really
I
good.
literally just saw that come in and I saw Ellie take it off as if like, oh, I don't think I should have gone to that price, but I'm like, well, it's been there now, it's there.
So you want to mark it at the top, and then you want to mark it at the left-hand
Right.
side, and then we're going to twist it twice, so 180 degrees, and then we're going to mark it at the top, and then again at 1.5 on the left-hand side. So just making sure that
I've
they
never seen this
are long
envelope
enough that you can
making
get your
project
punch
book
in.
before.
It's really good. It comes, I don't know if we've got the full collection in, where you get the punch. I think the punch might be out of stock at the moment,
Right, yeah.
but we've also got envelope making papers that you can buy
Wow.
to work alongside this as well. But the
This was
punch.
last on in November and completely sold out. It's back today at the same price of £7.99.
So then you want to line up these points with your centre point. I'm using this 6-inch mark here, and we are just going to go sort of like from the top to the bottom of that each way round. It's really, really handy to sort of like follow those markings and sort of make this. So the last one is here. And then what you can do on this other side as well is then, once I've got all of my measurements in, I'm just going to corner around these panels here. And you don't necessarily need to do that on the top one, because we are going to trim that out. So what I can do is just, if I fold up these side pieces, and you can use like a rubber to get off any of those pencil markings as well.
Yeah.
I fold up these side pieces and then place this over the top. I can just create a line here where if I take my scissors, I'll just trim that bit off as well where it hasn't caught it. I can just take my scissors and cut along that line. And what that will allow us to do now is just bring this together like a gorgeous little envelope. So I'm just going to use my tape runner on those two sides there and place this along. Now, if I was going to make this to be an actual envelope, you would then also now need to just fold this down and just cut it across here as well. But because we're going to use this as like a design piece, I'm going to keep this whole sort of piece out here. And I've created the same sort of shape again, and I've made a panel that can sit on the inside too, so that we've got that nice bit of decoration.
Okay.
So I can just go in and just add my tape runner to the top to make sure that that is nice and stuck down, making sure all of those pieces meet up. And then my little verse here, just a little note to say how much I love you, will fit just inside that little envelope that we've created. So I'm going to pop that on with foam pads, just so it stands up. And of course, this is just sort of like it's not a working envelope, it's just supposed to be sort of like a little feature on our card. So I'll just tuck that in there so we can still read all of that workings.
That's fabulous.
And then that is going to sit on here, and we're going to bring in our other envelopes just to decorate this up. So if I stick this down, and I'll just do that flat again with my tape runner, get that sort of like just on here, and then I'm going to grab these panels, and I've got some super chunky foam pads here.
And there's that die back on your graphics now. We're going to bring it back up in a second for you, which will be the opportunity
Such a
to be
good
able to
deal,
get it today for $9.99. So, of course, the envelope making project book is $7.99, and then if you want the die, £9.99. That is Pt.1. It's half price, which is super.
So then we can just add these little envelopes sort of like on top of our envelope to finish off that little bit of decoration. It's really, really sweet, isn't it? And I love the fact that the watercolour pad from our essential papers works so nicely with the watercolour theme that we've got on here. I thought I had some gemstones with me as well, just to add on the top side, but I don't think I've got them. But I would add, if I had some, just a few little purple gemstones just to add into that really nice theme that we've got.
I love that. I think
super,
it's
super simple, but it works so nicely with that little verse.
Doesn't it? Definitely. Absolutely gorgeous. So do remember that obviously everything works so well. Now this envelope making project book, which is on your screen at the moment, well, I've never seen this. We had it back on in November. It sold out completely. It is back today. And it's the fact, of course, that with that, you suddenly will be able to make the perfect envelope, whether it's small like that, whether you want to make larger envelopes. And it's something that a lot of people don't do because they think, oh, you know, what's the measurements? How do I score here? This makes it simple. And
it's so simple. And you've got sort of like the measurements in here for both standard rectangles, and they go as small as 3 by 1.5, which we've just made, all the way up to A5.
Brilliant.
And then you've also got all the squares as well, and they go from 2.5 inches all the way up to 8 by 8. So it's got all the different sizes, the grid, you've got photograph instructions on how to follow it. And then what we've also done is Amy helped create this. So she has got different elements in here, like how to make wax seals, how to line your envelopes up, how to decorate your envelopes. She's got those using stamps, using dies to make them really fancy, creating really fun things like this birthday box envelope, which opens up and it's got little compartments in. So if you're gifting like tickets or something, that's perfect. How to create shaker envelopes. A little belly band, sort of like wedding invite there, which when it comes to like weddings, they're expensive. So if you can DIY it, do it. You've got this really cool thing here, which you could put pictures in here and like have memories. So it could be like thingies. We've got my little road trip pad that we made. So I've got like photographs from all the different places that we went to in America in there. So that's all in there. Scrapbook pages, because of course you can use your bits and pieces on scrapbook pages. This was so clever. So this is how to make a gift box from like 4 envelopes.
Oh, right.
So you make it up and then you build it together. It's so clever. And then of course we've got a calendar. This one was made for Christmas, but you could be making it for loads of different occasions as well. Definitely. It's a really great handbook, and there's so much inspiration in there for different ways of how you can use your envelopes.
And 3 months since we last had it in stock, so it is back there today. Now, don't forget though, the big launch today is this, the Perfect Verses. It is volume 3. Every time that we have had a Perfect Verses pad, they just sell out. We don't have to wait to be like, can we get them reprinted? Can we have them back in stock? You've got this here today. Now, look at all of the different verses, all of the different occasions and people that have been covered. The fact that you've got 24 different verses, different pages, of course, that we can see within this, going up to 192 verses altogether. They're in your gold and your silver, unseen, unheard, but always near, still loved, still missed, and held so dear. So there are things like that, but then you've got something like family, a little bit of crazy, a little bit of loud, a whole lot of love. So something completely different, as you can see in that one to the first one. You've got I love you for all that you are, all that you have been, and all that you are yet to be in there as well. You've got difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Life is all about good times and great adventures. And I think that's what's so super about them, is there's so many different meanings, so many different people that these are aimed at, but also all of these different fonts. I mean, look at that scripture compared to what we're seeing over there, which is more of a bold sort of statement. So they've really been thought about as well to make that perfect look, whether it is on the front of your card or the inside. This one, of course, beautiful, where it's just been snipped into it. So if you don't want to use a full verse, you don't have to, you can snip into it. You might be wanting to use the likes of your scallop dies to make it look like this. It might be that you've got one of the verses and they're a little long, so you want to chop it in half. You can do that as well and split it into 2. You can see another one there that's working really well with the likes of your birthday celebrations, so your die cut pads. This is one of my favourite ones.
I love this one.
And the fact that it's with this picture
as well. It's great, isn't it? It's absolutely great. It's an image from our Golden Oldies collection.
Yes.
So that's just using the fantastic little book page. So it's just the amount of products you're going to be able to use that you've got in your stash already with these verses. They just add they add so much to your cards. They're fantastic.
I feel like I want to go to my dad and say, Dad, you're not growing old. You're just increasing in value. And then see what he says.
Exactly.
He's going to love it. So lots and lots of inspiration on that. Loads of you still with this in your basket, so do make sure you're checking out, of course, whilst you can. They do go, as we've seen as well in our samples, also in our demos, really really well with your essential papers.
Yeah.
Now, if you do want all 4 of them, then you can get them at this brilliant price of £18. They are normally £17.99 each, so we should be looking at over £31 for these. So you have got your check that you can see here. Within these, there's 48 different pages, 12 different designs that you get as well, which is absolutely brilliant. You've then got your rainbow that we can see here as well. This is my favourite, you know.
I love this one.
It's
It's
just so bright,
vibrant.
isn't it?
There's so many different like colour variations and textures in here. It's awesome.
Amazing, isn't it? Your watercolour, which is working
This
really
is
nicely in that last
fantastic.
demo that you
Especially
had
if
as
you don't want something super overempowering, but you still want that pattern and that colour within there.
Exactly.
It's a really nice sort of like delicate paper that you
Yeah.
can put with a lot of different
Stunning.
things.
And then craft, which at the moment is
Essential.
a real fan favourite. This is very
Yeah.
fashionable at the moment.
I
and
love
very-
craft. I love the fact that we've got like your
great.
crunched up paper
I
in here. It's
know.
something I love doing with craft paper.
Yeah.
You've got that like line paper, loads of different textures. Like that one looks like it's been, you've put it through your paper crimper.
It does, doesn't it?
So you've got that gorgeous texture, but there's nothing else
No.
on that. They're just flat pieces. They're all matastic as well, so we can stamp directly on here, which I really, really like about that too. It just makes them so much more versatile. And they're in the A5 size, which was requested for by our viewers as well. So they
it's great when people do that, and
they
then you think,
requested
"Yeah,
the
you can do
A5 version. So we thought when we brought these out, the creative team said we wanted them to be matastic because we could use them more. But you guys said you wanted A5, so we just merged them together to create these.
And they are down from £7.99 to £4.50 if you want to go for it in this deal. We have another chance though to get this. So if you want to go for a duo, for example, or you're thinking, well, I know I love craft cards, so I'm going to use more of that, then you can go for a couple of these. Because look, you can get 2. So £7.99 can be for 1 if you just want 1, or you can go for 2. So it could be 2 of the craft, 2 of the watercolour, 2 of the rainbow, 1 of the rainbow, 1 of the craft. And it still takes them down to a brilliant price of £4.90. Watercolour has almost sold out in this option though, so if you do want that,
This
you've
is
got
a
to be
very cool
quick.
card.
Really nice sort of looking through the samples as well of what people have done. I mean, look at that with your craft card.
Oh, that's lovely. I love that.
Yeah, your rainbow that you can see there as well. Very fun, very bright, isn't it? More from the rainbow collection that we can see just there. The check, obviously, is absolutely gorgeous also. I think it just works in so many different ways. Great as a background or great as a sort of more sort of masculine feel as well. More from the rainbow that we can see. Oh, these are nice from craft. Look at that one.
That's really pretty.
And this, maybe one of my favourites that we've seen there as well.
I love that.
Watercolour, and it's been embossed, of course, on that as well,
Yeah,
which
you
works
can use it with
lovely.
your embossing folders.
Yeah, and then another one that we can see there as well. Right, Elizabeth, Patricia, Linda, Pamela, Diane, Desiree, lots of you with this in your basket. Just ensure you're putting 2, 4, 6, 8 in your factors of 2 to get that discount deal as well, to make sure that you do get the opportunity to do that. Look back, of course, at all of those die-cut pads as well. Some of them have completely sold out, but of course there will be the opportunity and the chance to still get some of them. The World of Roses, I think that one is almost about to sell out as well. I've got that one just here. Very, very popular.
So pretty, this one.
Yeah.
I love the different colour variations we've got of the roses as well. You've got the creams and the yellows.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we've got the actual like style of rose on there as well. It's very,
do.
very specific.
You always just go rose, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't know it's a tea rose or a
No,
purple
but
rose.
there's so many
rose of
different
love.
combinations and styles of roses that you can get, and they're all included in this one.
Yeah. And if you put that one on and you go rose of love, it's even more special, isn't it? You're like, look, I
Exactly.
know this is the rose of love. so that's there. They are £9.99, all of them discounted from £11.99 for you to be able to get those as well. Again, that one is limited. We'll be back at 3. Don't forget, you've had a sneak peek of those brand new foiled cards, pastel edition. It's there, it's available on the web. So if you would like to take advantage and pre-order on it, then you absolutely can do. It's on the web on our coming up on today's show. There's the code for it and for you to be able to get it. How many are you actually getting in it, just so people know?
Oh goodness, you've tested
lot.
me there.
A lot. A lot.
I think you get. Oh, there you go.
36.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
6. I think there's 6 different designs, and you get 6 different sort of like
sizes.
colours as well.
Oh my word.
6 colours, 6
Lovely.
different sizes.
Yeah.
All come with envelopes.
Fabulous.
But they are absolutely awesome.
Check out ahead of that show. I would if I was you. We'll see you in a moment. We will be back in a moment. We've got Spellbinders with us. We've got Dawn here as well. A brand new launch coming up right after this.
Want to know what's going on in the next show? Then head over to our website. Click on the TV guide. This will tell you who's presenting, which guest we have joining us, along with what's going on in each hour. If you ever miss a show, you can catch up by clicking on the day you missed and then click Watch This Show. You can also view what product was on and if it's still available to buy. Catch up on Hobby Maker.
At Hobby Maker, we're very proud of our postage and packaging offer, but it might not be completely clear how it works. The good news is that you only pay $4.95 no matter how many times you order or check out within 1 day. To ensure this happens, all you have to do is combine your orders. So I could order morning, noon or night, and all I would pay is $4.95 until midnight that day, as long as I remembered to combine my order each time. And that's it. Another example of shopping made easy at Hobby Maker.
It's competition time. Hobby Maker are turning 3 and we're inviting you to enter our birthday card competition. To enter and to be in with a chance of winning up to £100, simply send us your handmade card along with an envelope before the 7th of March. Your design must use at least one product from Hobby Maker. For the full details on how to enter, scan the QR code or head to our website. Happy crafting and good luck.
We know you love crafting, so why not join us live on Facebook every Monday, Wednesday and Sunday from 11 AM for an extra dose of creativity.
Welcome to Craft O'Clock.
Mondays are all about Make Along Monday.
You're trying to find a calendar, like.
Grab your supplies and craft along with your favourite guests. On Wonder Why Wednesday, we'll answer your biggest crafting questions and share some expert tips. And don't miss Super Sunday, packed with unmissable deals and limited stocks on best-selling craft supplies.
Welcome to Hobby Maker Live, Craft O'Clock. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Hit follow on Hobby Maker's Facebook page and join in the fun.
Hi everyone, good morning. It's 11 o'clock, it's Craft O'Clock.
Live every Monday, Wednesday and Sunday.
Never miss a show by watching on the go with the Hobby Maker app. Head over to the App Store now and search Hobby Maker and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all the products that are featured throughout the day. Want to know what's hot? Then click here to see our bestsellers and highlights. Have you missed a show or want to watch one back? Then click the schedule button and you can go back to watch and shop. And you can see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send us a message to the studio. You can also keep up with the latest news, events, product launches and much more by clicking here for our social media pages. So never miss a show by watching on the go with the Hobby Maker app.
At Hobby Maker, we are proud to collaborate with the best brands and suppliers in the industry, bringing you top quality products and innovative designs. Whether you're a crafting enthusiast or starting out, we provide everything you need to fuel your creativity. Hobby Maker, let's get crafting.
This is where I suddenly look like I'm back in my newsreading days. I was just turning my sheets over at the right time and they were stuck together. That always made me laugh actually before, you know, when I went down to ITV and like the news studios, and I was like, you've not got anything on your paper because obviously it's here. And then if your auto cue breaks, you've got your backup here, and you've got your. And so, but they do sometimes have their real backup on there. But I was just like, I didn't realise this, and this is only when you see things, isn't it?
I didn't know that.
It changes, but you look formal. So I always feel quite important to have some papers.
Yeah. we'll all get a set of paper.
Exactly. We just sort of stand here like that. We'll be like, we're important people, you know.
Yeah.
Now, we're here with a gorgeous new launch on Spellbinders,
We are
aren't we?
very excited with Spellbinders because
Yep.
obviously they always try and bring something a little bit different, a little bit more out there, but something you can mix in with what you've already got as well. So this is really going to give you a new elevation to your crafting.
Yeah, which is super, super duper. Now, with this new collection, we have got sort of a big bundle where you will be able to get the individuals. So we will look through it all individually, but you will get your biggest discount if you want to go for the bundle. There is then lots of other extras that actually go with this collection as well. So if you want to jump onto the web, which you may well want to do, you can sort of shop ahead with them, which I think is absolutely a brilliant opportunity to do. Now, let's start by having a little look through, shall we? Because we have got, would we like to start with this? Because it's absolutely gorgeous what we can see here, because this is your heart die. It's such a great size that you're getting as well.
It's great.
And this, with the colour and the way that you can kind of finish it up like that, that is just so clever.
It is, and if you use a metal shim, if your machine takes a metal shim and things like that, you could actually cut pieces of felt. And then you could stitch it, so you could bring in like mixed media, your fabrics, things like that. But also with that, I like it because it's got that little, you know, them shards in it. So again, it looks totally different to probably any other heart that you've got.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. And it's nice that you've got the outer die as well as the inner die as well.
Exactly, so you can use it all together, use the base layer, so you've got the colour behind, and then cut the inner layer, because that's got, let me show you. This is what we mean. It's got an inner and an outer on there as well. So this is what we mean. So you can use that separately or all together. So that's why with you having the two and it's a big size. Please don't think this is a teeny tiny one.
No, exactly. It's
really good size.
Pop it near us. Yeah, it's absolutely fabulous. We will look at some samples as well, because that's when you really, I think, get to see kind of the nature of the size of it. I mean, you can use it and you can still emboss it. You can still do all of these things if you want to as well.
It just gives you that basic shape, but then you can elevate it. You can add to it. Like with that, you might have punches, you might have other dies that you want to cut areas out. We have got an embossing folder on the show, which you'll see in a bit, but you imagine with this, anniversaries, weddings, you know, that kind of thing, just sending somebody a little bit of love. This is what it's all about.
Definitely, isn't it? And you can really see there what we were talking about with those cut lines as well, if you want to do it in that way. So that's absolutely super. So that is £26.99 if you want to go for it individually, which I think is absolutely super. We, do you want me to pop that back to you? Should we come to the embossing folder next, do you think? Because we have got an absolutely gorgeous embossing folder.
Here it is. Got it.
That we can see just here as well. It's such a lovely detail, isn't it? The fact that you have got all of those sort of flowers, the florals, I think it's beautiful.
And it's a lovely big size as well. It's not like your standard small size one, it's more like an A5 size with this one. You have got this large size. So don't forget as well, you know, all your metallic cards or just a piece of white cardstock, ink it, give it another lease of life, or even your pattern papers, bring that texture and that double like layering system in. This is going to look fabulous. Embossing folders are one of my favourite things.
Yeah, I love them. I love the effect. I always love like sanding them back as well and things like that, and putting your gilding wax
or
on.
bits of metal or fabrics even. You know, think about mixing up a little bit as well.
I've just noticed the price as well, £8.99.
Amazing price.
That's a really good price. I mean, for the size of this that you're actually getting and the quality, amazing. Again, it's in the big bundle, but it is there if you wanted to go for it individually, of course. Now, next, we have got something that I think is really cool. Now, these are your speech bubbles that you've actually got in die form. Very, very different, sort of very on trend. I think they'd make all cards really cool as well to have.
Plus, you can be a bit quirky with it. So you could have like a real old-fashioned traditional photograph, but put something in quite comical, things like that. These are great as well because they have got the two dies in each one. So with this, you've got the matte and layer, the base, and then you've got the elevation. So if you're wanting to use different colours or, you know, you could put in whatever you want, but you might have a special saying that you have between each other or friends or family. This then just gives you that base to add it in.
And it's nice they are big sizes. It's not like they're actually little ones where you couldn't fit much in. You could fit quite a bit into each of those as well. So you're getting all of those there at £26.99. Second set of dies that we have also got, which would work really well, of course, with that as well, because it's your punctuation and your icons that you've got here. And it's a set sort of unlike anything else I've seen, actually, in terms of what you're getting.
This has got a real mix because, yes, it's got your punctuations and things like that in it, but you've got like the little tickets in there. You've got your big open brackets, your big @ sign in there, and you've also got the floral elements. And I have to say, the flowers, can you see? Shall I turn? There you go. the flowers at the bottom, they're really big. So you've even got embellishments in there as well, which I really, really like. So a handy set to have for sure they
Feels
are.
like it's one of them that you're going to be reaching to all the time, aren't you, to be getting that. So that is there at $26.99. Then we have a set of stamps, which again feel like they have been perfectly designed to work, of course, with the speech bubbles, with everything that we're seeing here, because these are absolutely beautiful. Now, if you do go for the big bundle, which we'll come to in a minute, these will actually be free for you to be able to get them because you are going to get a lovely discount. But they're great. I mean, you got Just Sayin, you got Hello.
Typical, that's me. Just saying.
Exactly. All day, every day that you can see there as well. Heck yes, I mean, that's another.
Like that.
Yeah, I
like
love
the
you.
papers
I
effect.
do, yes, yeah. Because they're quite large, aren't they, as well? Whether you want to kind of add them just as backgrounds or do you want to extend them as a full kind of background as well. But here, with your lines that you've got to get your paper...
Like little notepads, things like that for your journaling, things like that. These are going to be great. But again, sentiments, you can never have too many. It's great because it's got lots of different fonts in there.
Yes.
And all of those as well will fit inside the speech bubbles that we've just shown you.
Of course.
So, and more, because you've got, if I bring that in just to show you, they will all fit in there as well. So you've got the best of both worlds. If you want to do a little designer background, you've got the top ones, but then all your sentiments will sit in there. But you know, even if you're printing sentiments out on a computer, as long as you need enough space round and you know the sizing of that, then you can cut them out.
Exactly. So $16.99 if you want to go for that individually. But do you want it all? Okay, because that is always the way that most people want to go, of course, for Spellbinders. So this is where you are going to get everything that you saw, that amazing embossing folder. The fact that you are getting that gorgeous stamp set that you've just had a look at. You've also got 3 die sets, that amazing heart, you know, so different to other hearts we've seen, really big, bold size. You then got all those speech bubbles in really good sizes to work with those stamps that you've got. And then all of those extra sort of embellishments, as well as those punctuation marks, as well as those lovely little strip elements as well within the other die set. So it's a fabulous collection.
It is. It's really, really handy. And the thing is as well, with a set, obviously you're going to need an A5 size machine for the heart. But if you've got a smaller machine, if you've got the smaller Scout machine from Spellbinders, all the others are going to fit through it. Not a problem at all. But honestly, it's only the heart one that you're going to need the bigger one. So if you are just starting out and you've only just got that machine, this could be your next step in the journey to die cutting.
And it's got a good discount. So £106.95 is the price it should be. Today instead, £89.99 for you to be able to get this. Plus we have it on a split pay opportunity. So 3-way split pay, suddenly you can take it all home for $29.99, which is an absolutely fabulous opportunity. Shall we have a look at a few more of the samples as well? Because just look at what you can do. Now, if you want to get any of these as well, they are on the website because some people, might want to get them. Some of them have got Tiamo, things like that, and on as well. So we've got different sort of sayings in different languages if you wanted to mix them up as well. This is lovely. Look at that, actually made out of the heart for a full binder.
That's it. So you can make little mini albums with that. They've used the flower elements in there as well. So many different elements. All the bits on there as well are available on the show. So if you're wanting extra bits, we have got those too. But you can see when they're decorated, they just look so beautiful.
Don't they just? Absolutely.
And you can make and sell with these as well. So you've got the potential to make different projects and things like that, which we all want sometimes.
Oh, of course we do. Something that stands out, I always think, something that is that bit different. Now, let's talk through a few other elements, shall we? Because we have got a lot of other bits that actually work alongside this. So you've got the main bundle. Then let's get, and we've got quite a chunk to be able to bring over, haven't we, just here?
Let's move stuff about for you.
Absolutely. Should we start with paper pads? Because I always love a paper pad. And this is your 12 by 12 that you've got here, which works perfectly with this collection that you can see. And you've got 24 designs. And they're all different. I love it when we've actually got one of all of them.
This is great because the thing is as well, this is by Kelly Bangs. And obviously she's one of their, separate designers who comes in and does ranges for them. But you can see the way she likes to put something a bit modern, a bit classic together. Even with those, you could die cut those out as well. So you've got all those extra pieces. And look at this, the colours. It's happy. It's one of those where you just want to craft with. A little bit of fun, I would say these are.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Definitely. Really gorgeous sort of bright colours that we're seeing. 24 different designs. And the great thing is, I mean, I know that a lot of people, we have got a good stock allocation. A lot of people will go, well, I want a couple because, I don't want just one sheet of my favourite. But this one, you can see lots of toppers there as well. I mean, that's 12 cards if you wanted to do it that way.
That's it. Or it could be tags on presents, things like that. You've got something for everybody like that, a little bit more traditional as well. Nice. But if you want something that's a little bit, what's the word? Can't think of the word. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. You're like, I know what it is.
I know what it is. Yeah. It's like, I know our producer says like pop arty, but it's got that retro look. That's it. It's got that retro look about. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
But you can see there, these are just fabulous. It gives you colour palettes already put together, so if you're not sure what to mix and match. But then you've got something like that with the chevrons for the guys if you want to mix those in. And then I think right near the back is one of my favourite papers, like that with the spots. Birthdays. If you cut a big number 3 or 4 out of that,
look amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it looked fabulous.
Yeah, and I think going from something that dark to like your ditzy florals like this
for Easter, you could use
those.
This
is good, isn't it?
They're great.
Wow. So you've got all